हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे अवकर्तल हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोधानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोधानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा माधव जय श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा गिरिधारी राधे राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So today we are going to start with we'll continue with chapter 16 and complete that chapter. So today we're going to talk about various rasas, a very esoteric subject matters. So we'll sing this song Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna. So we're going to talk about Parakya Rasa. What is Parakya Rasa and all in today's session. So let's sing this beautiful song written by Krishnadas. So we'll sing this beautiful song Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan, begging for the mercy of all the Vaishnava Acharyas, Guru Gauranga, Sri Radha and Krishna. We can understand this transcendental subject matter very nicely. All right. Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Keshi Gata Bamshi Bhatha Dwadashakana Jaha Sabha Leela Koilo Shri Nanda Nandana Shri Nanda Jashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagana Shri Ramadi Jaya Jaya Denu Vatsaga Jaya Visha Banu Jaya Kirtida Sundari जय पौर्णमासी जय वीरनगारी जय जय गोपीश्वर वृंदावन माजा जय जय कृष्ण सखा भटू द्विज राजा जय राम गाढ जय रोहिणी नंदना जय जय वृंदावना बसी जता जाना जय द्विज पत्नी जय कन्या गाना भक्ति तेजहारा पैलो गोविंद चारणा वीरसा मंडल जय जय राधा श्याम जय जय रसलीला सर्व मनोरम जय जय ज्वाला रस सर्वरस सारा कारकीय भावे जहाँ ब्रजेते प्रचार श्रीजनाभ पाद पद्म ओदिया स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दासे को है नाम संकीर्तन श्रीजनाभ पाद पद्म ओदिया स्मरण दीन कृष्ण दासा को है नाम संकीर्तन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधा गिरिधारी राधे राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा गोविंद राधे राधे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गोपीनाथ राधे राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरदुषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं। हरि ओं तत्सत्। नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणौ सधर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्देन मट्टालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ। Hare Krishna. Landut pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in. So today we are continuing with chapter number 16 of the Nectar of Devotion by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we saw a couple of important terminologies, right? We saw what is Ragatmika Bhakta and what is Raga Anuga Bhakta. We also saw what is Siddha Pranali, right? We understood that Siddha Pranali or the Siddha Deha that will be revealed to us whenever the Lord wants us to know about it, right? We don't go about finding out or trying to find out what is our Siddha Deha, right? At the time when we attain Krishna Prema, automatically it will be revealed to us. But we need to know some important terminologies. What are those? We saw what is Raga Atmika, Atmartha Bhaktas. That means it refers to those eternal devotees of Lord Shri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan Dham, like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani, Shubhala, Sudhama, Sridhama, all of these, Madhu Mangal, all of them who are connected eternally, serving in the spiritual world in one of the 5 rasas. What are the 5 primary rasas? We have the, okay, anyone wants to say what are the 5 important rasas in the spiritual world? Primary rasas?
Shanta, Dasya, then Vatsalya, Madhurya, and Sakhya, yes.
Vatsalya.
Yeah. So the Shanta, then in the order of increased rasas, Shanta, Dasya, where you render service to the Lord in the mode of a servant. Then it is Sakhya, that means you render service to the Lord in the form of like a friend. And then Vatsalya, that means you render service to the Lord, taking the Lord to be your son, like Mother Yashoda Nanda Maharaj. And then finally, Madhurya Rasa. Madhurya Rasa is taking the Lord to be one's lover. Right? One thing we saw is very common in all the 5 rasas, which is of service. Right? That is why even when we have not yet realized our Swarupa Siddhi, when we are engaged within this material body, which is made up of Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, come, right? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Then we can still render service to the Lord by using our material body. And what is that worship? It's called Archa Vigraha Seva. And when we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, that makes us get closer to our Swarupa, to attain our Swarupa Siddhi. What is that? Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnera Nitya Das. Because we have identified ourselves to be lords and not servants. We've been put into this material world where we are trying to exploit or we are trying to enjoy, as a result of which we are always frustrated in our attempts to enjoy. Yeah. So with that little background, we also saw about the Nava Angas of Bhakti, namely Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Right? Prahlad Maharaj gives this in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Now, these are the 9 processes of devotional service. And according to whatever inspires us, we can take that and perform that, following in that particular rasa of that particular person in the spiritual world, like that. Right? Although we don't try to imitate their activities, like Sahajiyas do, what we try to do is we try to follow the instructions of such senior devotees. Also, we saw how all of the acharyas are all manjaris in the spiritual world, right? Kamala Manjari, Nayana Manjari. In this way, all of our acharyas, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and all of our acharyas, they are all coming in the bona fide Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Parampara. We are all serving the Lord in the form of manjaris. That means assisting in the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. So, whatever rasa, at this particular time we may feel, that, the Lord is like our son, I need to feed the Lord, like that. Then we are more towards Vatsalya rasa, like that. Right? But of course, it keeps changing. There's not much that we can decipher at this level of sadhana bhakta or practicing sadhakas. However, when we continue with this process of devotional service by chanting Hare Krishna, hearing the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, remembering the Lord, that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, offering worship to the Lord, Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord, Archanam, Vandanam, as a servant of the Lord, right? Dasya is common in across all rasas. Even in Madhuri Rasya, we were seeing how the gopis gave their the dust of their feet just to cure Krishna of their headache, right? Although they may have to suffer for millions of lifetimes, or suffer eternally in the hellish planets. But this is the seva bhav that they have adopted, and they have the highest seva bhav. Dasyam, Sakyam. Sakyam is like Sridhama, Subhala, what is that? Sridhama, Shubhala, Madhumangal, they all have the Sakya relationship, friendly relationship with the Lord, and Atmanivedanam. And you also saw how by performing one of these angas or by performing all of these angas, one can attain the perfection of performing this devotional service, which is Krishna Prema. So now we want to go into the next section, which is even more highly esoteric. So we are begging for the mercy of Guru and Gauranga so we can understand the subject matter nicely. We want to talk about conjugal love, which is the highest rasa within Madhurya. Within Madhurya itself, the Acharyas explained there are 2 kinds of rasas, like we sang. Parakiya bhave jaha prajate prachar. Okay, what is this? Parakiya. So within the conjugal loving affairs, within the Madhurya ras, there can be either Swakiya ras or Parakiya ras. Parakiya ras means, that means we are not actually wedded to the Lord, right? See, the topmost in the spiritual world is the lowest or the most abominable kind of relationship in this material world. That's what Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam, right? That this is like a banyan tree with its root upwards and trunk downwards, like that. So this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So what is most abominable in this material world? To not be married, but to have just stay with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That is most abominable relationship in this material world, right? But that is considered to be the topmost best relationship in the spiritual world, where Radha and Krishna are not generally married. The gopis are not wedded to Krishna, but they dedicate their lives in serving Krishna. We should also understand here that Krishna is the source of Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Right? We should always recapitulate our Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam as we study these transcendental subject matters, because Krishna was one. When he wanted to enjoy himself, he expanded himself into Radha and Krishna. And when Radha and Krishna, they are energies of the same Lord. Krishna is the energy, Krishna is energetic, and Radharani is his energy. And aham sarvasya prabho mattah sarvam pravartate iti vatva bhajante ma udabhava samnitah. Krishna says, I am the creator of all living beings, all living entities. So we are all created by Krishna for Krishna's enjoyment. So we are supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna, right? But if we want to enjoy independently, we come to this material world. But Krishna is also the source of the material world. Krishna is also the source of the spiritual world. So in this way, whatever is created, whoever is created, they've been created by the Lord, and yeah, it is our duty, and we have been created to be enjoyed by the Lord. So when we say that a person, a boy and a girl are not married but they're living together, it's not considered a very respectful relationship in the material world. But in the spiritual world, it is the most respectable one. Why? Because if somebody is dedicating their lives towards serving Krishna and they can do anything for the pleasure of the Lord, that is considered to be the highest level, right? Various examples are quoted, which we already saw. How the Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, all of them were very rich. They were occupying, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were prime minister and home minister in the Nawab Hussain Shah's kingdom, right? They left all the opulences, they left everything, and they were not even staying under the same tree in Vrindavan Dham. They were so renounced, right? How could such elevated souls who are pure devotees of the Lord talk about Radha and Krishna? They are singing, right? He Radhe Vraja Devi ke Chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Putaha. Oh Radhe, where are you? Oh Krishna, where are you? Right? So somebody who's completely renounced this material world, how would they be interested in some simple boy-girl relationship? Right? If these great devotees are somebody who are very learned in the Shastras, who've written the Shastras, right? Rupa Goswami has written the Shastra we're reading today. Right? When such exalted souls who have written such wonderful Shastras, they are talking about this relationship between Radha and Krishna, you should understand how exalted that relationship is. And they are saying this is the best the relationship between a devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where one completely surrenders oneself for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called Parakiya Rasa. The other is Swakiya Rasa. Swakiya Rasa means the relationship between the queens of Dwarka and Lord Shri Krishna. You have Rukmini, you have Satyabhama, you have Kalindi. All of these queens of Vrindavan, their relationship of Madhurya, their relationship is also of sweetness. Right? Generally, husband-wife relationship is more of sweetness. There is no so much awe and respect, awe and reverence, right? Because you're talking of the highest rasa. Krishna is now just a boy in Vrindavan, right? He's playing his flute. He's just simply attracting everybody to him. He is not that Supreme Personality of Godhead who's maintaining and creating this world. Aham sarvasya prabho, matta sarvam pravartate. All of that, what is being done, is done by the expansions of Lord Krishna. Krishna is not interested in all this material world, right? Krishna is happily playing flute, enjoying with the gopis and the gopas of the Vrindavan Dham. He's just loitering around, right? We sing, right? Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Yashoda Nandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, who's enjoying in the groves of Raja. And Yamuna Tiravanachari, and who is having amorous pastimes in Yamuna. Right? So in this way, the Lord is completely engaged in his own transcendental affairs in Goloka Vrindavan Dham. He has no inclination, he has no interest in actually getting into the affairs of this material world. Yet the material world is running perfectly well because of the expansions of Lord Shri Krishna. The Purushavatarās, the Kshirotika Vishnu, Garbhadaka Vishnu, all of that. Right? They all take care of the affairs of the material world, and Durga Devi is the fortress of this fort, the Durga, right? So in this way, the material world is running perfectly well, and this is only 1/4 of the creation of the Lord. The 3/4 of the creation is the spiritual world, and in that, the center, we saw that lotus flower in the beginning of the sessions, right? Inside the innermost flower or the innermost planet is Goloka Vrindavan Dham, where there are the 8 Shakis who are actually serving Shri Radha and Krishna. You have Champaklata, Chitra Devi, then you have Lalita. Lalita, under Lalita, you have Lalita, Champaklata, Chitra, and Tungavidya. And then you have Vishaka Devi on the other side, Vishaka, Induleka, Ranga Devi, and Sudevi. So in this way, these Ashtashakis are serving Radha and Krishna. And Radha and Krishna's rasa, which is Parakiya Bhava, is the highest, even higher than the conjugal rasa, the Madhurya rasa only. Even the queens have Madhurya rasa with Krishna, just like husband and wife. So in that way, they also enjoy this conjugal loving affairs with Krishna. So there are two kinds of rasas, parakiya bhava and swakiya bhava. And then there is another, there are some words here. We will just try to read, and then, in case there is something that I have studied from my Bhakti Shastri class, and I will like to share that. But predominantly, we'll just read, and whatever is coming to our understanding, it comes by the grace of the Guru and Gauranga. That's how we'll progress, okay? So devotees can read now. Let me share my screen. So today we're going to start this topic known as conjugal love. Yesterday we ended with how what did we end with yesterday? We ended with how the various angas of devotional service, from Shravanam to Atma Nivedanam, if one performs with full earnestness, one will attain, that particular situation where one understands where my taste lies, right? Until then, we simply practice devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, begging for the mercy of the Supreme Lord, like that. All right, Arun Gupta Prabhu, go ahead. Devotional service.
Conjugal love, devotional service following in the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan or the queens at Dwarka is called devotional service in conjugal love. This devotional service in conjugal love can be divided into two categories. One is indirect conjugal love, the other direct. In both of these categories, one has to follow the particular gopi who is engaged in such service in Golok Vrindavan. To be directly attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in conjugal love is technically called Keli. This Keli performance means to directly join with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are other devotees who do not wish direct contact with the Supreme Person, but who relish the conjugal love affairs of the Lord with the gopis. Such devotees enjoy simply by hearing of the activities of the Lord with the gopis. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So Keli means basically refers to the gopis who are directly, being in the pastimes, and the others who simply assist in like decorating the kunja or in decorating Shrimati Radharani, like all of those, indirectly they are part of the Leela. They are that is called. That's a different set of gopis, and who directly enjoy this rasa with Krishna. That particular thing is called Keli. That's what is mentioned here. All right. So who'll read next? Krishnamurti Prabhu, go ahead. Request devotees to switch on your cameras, please. I'm able to see only Krishnamurti Prabhu as of now. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
This development of conjugal love can be possible only with those who are already engaged in following the regulative principles of devotional service, specifically in the worship of Radha and Krishna in the temple. Such devotees gradually develop a spontaneous love for the deity, and by hearing of the Lord's exchange of loving affairs with the gopis, they gradually become attracted to these pastimes. After this spontaneous attraction becomes highly developed, the devotee is placed in either of the above mentioned categories. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay. So what is the route of finding out our rasa with the Lord? Simply following Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Right? Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti we saw is following Shravanam Navavida Bhakti. Sorry. Following the Navavida Bhakti, and within the Navavida Bhakti, chanting, especially Prabhupada has told, 99% of our spiritual life is depending on the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. A minimum 16 rounds of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following the 4 regulative principles. Prabhupada is told, I will take you back home, back to Godhead. Going home, back to Godhead means we have attained the stage of Krishna Prem. Correct? Because even in the stage of Bhava, we saw how Bharat Maharaj got attracted to a deer, and he had to take the body of a deer, right? So when we say going back home, back to Godhead means automatically it implies that we've got Krishna Prema. Correct? So this development of conjugal love, that means Krishna Prem, is possible only by worshipping Radha and Krishna, right? So it is a particular rasa. We already saw that if you want to get connected with Krishna and Vatsalya ras, we need to worship Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. If you want to play with Krishna, play hide and seek with Krishna, carry Krishna on the shoulders and run, right? If that kind of pastimes attract us more, then we read such kind of pastimes in the Krishna book. While keeping in mind that if you're reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, we need to go from 1st canto to the 10th canto. But if you want to relish pastimes on a particular day, if you want to just simply relish the pastimes, we can read the Krishna book. When we read the Krishna book, then we know the pastimes where even in the 10th canto, it starts off with the Aishwarya of the Lord. How the Lord killed Putana when he was few days old, how the Lord killed Trinavrata, Shakatasura. So like all this determines the greatness of the Lord. How the Lord lifted the Govardhan hill. So all of this determines the greatness of the Lord. And then slowly we go on to the other further chapters. There also we can, in Prabhupada's book, Prabhupada's Krishna book, we can safely read. Why? Because Prabhupada has given in every step. That's what Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada has given us the tattva. Right. So even if there are certain descriptions of conjugal love, the attraction between Radha and Krishna, everything. Then when we read Prabhupada will clearly mention the philosophy that how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Everything is emanation of the Lord. All of us are supposed to be enjoyed by the Lord. All those background will be given by Srila Prabhupada. So in this way, even when we want to read the pastimes, we want to read Krishna book. And in this way, we will also relish the pastimes, and also we will be able to understand the tattva behind it, so that we don't misunderstand, right? Because if we misunderstand this important tattva, then a little bit of bhakti also, what is there in our heart, that will also fade away. That is why it is best to study this Krishna book also, to hear it from a bona fide devotee of the Lord. Like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, every day in the evening he gives Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Leela class, Chaitanya Shikshamrita class. So because Chaitanya Charitamrita is postgraduate study, right? But we can always hear when senior devotees of the Lord are speaking, for coming in a bona fide parampara, we can hear from them. In this way, we relish the pastimes. At the same time, there is no possibility of us misunderstanding that particular pastime. All right. So, and then Prabhupada is also saying, when one gets attracted to this, to the pastimes of, the loving affairs of the gopis with Krishna, then what does one want to do? One also wants to render service with that kind of love in the heart, right? At least we should know the destination. That is the purpose. We are not going to imitate, right? We are not going to say that get up tomorrow morning and say, oh, I have developed, Gopi Bhav and dance. I danced with Krishna. Because the Sat Goswamis never said, I danced with Krishna last night, or, I saw Krishna, I served in this way. No, they were always serving in separation. That is why it is said that more than sambhoga, or more than enjoyment with the Lord. What is more superior, or what is more blissful is service in vipralamba, service in separation. That's why the Goswamis are always in that mood. The Goswamis, like we say, Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know, is Krishna himself, who's come in the mood of Radharani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the epitome of this conjugal love, right? Because he is already Krishna himself. It's in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And his mind has been captured by who? Rupa Goswami. And what is Rupa Goswami saying? Oh Radhe, oh Krishna. Hey Radhe Vrajadevi Kecha Lalite. Hey Nanda Shuno Kutaha. Where are you? I want to serve you. So that service and separation is the highest. Okay. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay. All right. So who will read this? Who's there now? Yanav Kishori Mataji, go ahead. This development of conjugal love for Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
This development of conjugal love for Krishna is not manifested in woman only. The material body has nothing to do with the spiritual body affairs. A woman may develop an attitude for becoming a friend of Krishna, and similarly, a man may develop the features of becoming a gopi in Vrindavana. How the form of a man can desire to become a gopi is stated in the Padma Purana as follows. In days gone by, there were many sages in the Dandakaranya. Dandakaranya is the name of the forest where Lord Ramachandra lived after being banished by his father for 14 years. At that time, there were many advanced sages who were captivated by the beauty of the Lord Ramachandra, and who desired to become woman in order to embrace the Lord. Later on, these sages appeared in Goloka Vrindavana when Krishna advented himself there. And they were born as gopis or girlfriends of Krishna. In this way, they attained the perfection of spiritual life.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Story of the Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so here I was hearing Amarendra Prabhu's class, one of the previous classes. He was mentioning, he was a very beautiful pastime. It's relating to how the Lord also, he wants to enjoy, rasa with his pure devotees. So it is said that in relation to today's the Dandakaranya rishis, so like Prabhuji was mentioning that when the Lord appeared as Narsinghadev, right? He killed Hiranya Kashipu and Prahlad Maharaj was licking. Like he's in the form of a half man, half lion. He's actually licking Prahlad Maharaj. And that time Prahlad Maharaj happily sitting on his lap. Narsinghadev is wondering what pleasure Prahlad must be receiving, right? He's sitting in the lap of his father. I don't have any father. I've just come out of the pillar right now. So he was thinking, can I not enjoy the love of a father? So that is why, in order to fulfill that desire, Narsinghadev, in his next incarnation, he came in the form of Lord Ram. So Lord Ram, of course, Maryada Purushottam Ram, isn't it? Lord Ram was a king. So he also he developed this desire to have friendly relations, Sakya Bhav. He wanted to be friendly. Whenever he looked at Hanuman and he wanted to probably crack a joke or something, before he could even talk to Hanumanji would already offering me obeisances. That means there was so much dasya mood that Lord Ram did not have a friend whom he could play with, whom he could enjoy. So he had this desire. Oh, can I not enjoy Sakyaras? And then, so later on he manifested as Krishna. And also during this time, this pastime is mentioned, how in the Dandakaranya forest, the rishis, they were so attracted to the form of Lord Ram. They wanted to be married by Lord Ram. So this is the point that Prabhupada is mentioning here, because it is not our material body, whether we are a man or a woman, that is going to determine our rasa or our swarupa siddhi in the spiritual world, right? Because whatever we've been attracted to in the previous life, whatever has been our karma, whatever has been our desires, according to that we've got a male body, a female body, or a birth in a Brahmana kula or Vaishya kula or Shudra kula, whatever it may be, right? Whichever according to various chatura and varnam. What is that? Varna and ashrama we are following. All this in this material world has no bearing to our Swarupa Siddhi. That is why Prabhupada is mentioning a woman may become attracted to becoming a Gopa or serving Krishna in a fraternity or a Sakyarasa. Similarly, a man may want to serve Krishna in the form of a Gopi or in the form of a Manjari or in the form of assisting in the conjugal loving pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. Right. So to continue this thing, so in the Dandakaranya forest also they wanted to marry Lord Ram. Right, they wanted to have this Madhurya Ras with Lord Ram, but Lord Ram said, in this incarnation, I am a Ekapatni Vrata. Right, I will have only one wife. But don't worry, in my next incarnation, I will satisfy all of your desires. So when he comes as Krishna, all of these sages of Dandakaranya forest, who were all in male bodies, they all appeared as gopis in Vrindavan Dham, and they enjoyed these pastimes with Krishna. And also the Sakyaras, right? All of these boys, Shubala, Madhumangal, right? How Madhumangal is having buttermilk in his mouth. What is Krishna doing? Krishna is pumping the cheeks of Madhumangal, and Madhumangal's entire buttermilk is coming, and then Krishna is drinking the entire buttermilk. That's how Brahma Vimohan Leela happens, right? Brahma saying, hey, this cannot be the Lord here. How is he drinking the juta of Madhumangal? And then we have the entire Brahma Vimohan Leela happens, isn't it? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he came as Krishna, he came to break all the rules and regulations. Right? There is no rule and regulation for the Lord. The Lord is not expected to follow any rules and regulations. Dharmam tu sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. The Lord will frame the rules and regulations, right? We cannot determine, oh, the Lord did all this, right? The Lord is the Lord. That is why doing all this, right? Whereas we are Jivatmas, right? We have to be situated in our constitutional position, and we should not comment or feel envious of the Lord. Because we did that only, we are now in the material world, right? So we should understand the pastimes of the Lord. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tattva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, we have to understand that all these pastimes of the Lord, whether he is lifting the Govardhan hill, whether he is having pastimes with the gopis, or whether he is he's marrying 16,108 queens, he's maintaining each one of them in a palace. Right? I've heard that in one lecture that it is difficult even to maintain one wife. I don't know. So Krishna maintained 16,108 wives, and he was simultaneously present, just like he was simultaneously present with all the gopis when they were doing rasa dance with Krishna. Like that, in the 116,108 palaces, he was simultaneously present in all the palaces, and he was carrying out various pastimes with the Lord. In this way, the Lord was omnipotent in all of the places. And to just extend our analogy a little more further, we are reading, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are in Kali Yuga. How can we not speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. But even Krishna has some desires. Krishna developed 3 desires. And how was Krishna's desires going to be fulfilled now? Narsingadev fulfilled his desire by becoming Lord Ram. He had this, Vatsalya prema of Dasharath Maharaj. And as Ram, he developed Sakya and Madhurya Ras. He wanted to satisfy Krishna is or Lord Ram for that reason. Narsingadev. All this is helping us understand different perspectives of the Lord. Different pehlu, they say, right? Because the Lord is Atmaram. He does not need anybody else to satisfy him in any way. He just has to think and then it will manifest. But why all this? This shows us how Krishna is Bhava Grahi. Right? Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Right? Because the devotees want to enjoy this rasa with Krishna. Krishna is manifesting the same desire. So Krishna also developed 3 desires, right? So Ram, he incarnated as Krishna, Purna Purushottam Bhagavan, wherein he had wonderful pastimes with the Sakis, the Gopis, and also he had wonderful pastimes playing with the Sakhas. Okay, but then Krishna also was thinking, right? If somebody serves us, right, what is the natural thing that I should enjoy more, right? If somebody is serving me, he's serving me Rasgulla because I love Rasgullas, so I should be enjoying the Rasgulla, and that person is just serving me. But Krishna is saying, oh, what is the pleasure that Radharani is deriving? Because she is deriving more pleasure than me while she is serving me. Secondly, what are the wonderful qualities in me? I don't understand. What is it that Radharani finds in me that she is so much attracted to me, that she is willing to do anything for me? And third thing is to understand the glory of devotional service, to establish to the world that the servitor enjoys more bliss than even the served. What is the glory of devotional service? In order to, for these 3 purposes, Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, he took the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani and he appeared as Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha. In this way, Krishna appeared as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So we cannot say that Krishna danced with others' wives. Right? It is quite foolish to say that. Why? Now, because all of the gopis, whomever wives they were all sages in Dandakaranya forest. They wanted to take Krishna as their husband and they wanted to enjoy this Parakya Ras with Krishna. And this Parakya Ras with Krishna is like, they've been created only to be enjoyed by Krishna. So in this way, they had this pastime with Lord Sri Krishna. All right, let's move forward. Okay, once again, let me share my screen again. Okay, there are some messages on the chat box. Yeah, the personified Vedas desire to become gopis of Krishna. Yeah, correct. Everyone wants to be part. Even Lord Shiva wanted to be part of this Leela, right? That's why he became Gopeshwar Mahadev. Everyone, and Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, the greatest devotee of the Lord. All of the devotees of the Lord, they all want to be a part of this wonderful Madhurya Ras of the Lord. They want to have this Adan Pradan with the Lord. Okay, Shobha Mataji, go ahead.
Krishna Dandavad from the story of sages.
Yeah.
The story of sages of Dandakaranya can be explained as below follow. When Lord Ramachandra was residing in Dandakaranya, the sages who were engaged in devotional service there became attracted by his beauty, and immediately thought of the gopis in Vrindavana who enjoyed conjugal love with affection with Krishna. In this instance, it is clear that the sages of Dandakaranya desired conjugal love in the manner of the gopis, although they were well aware of the Supreme Lord as both Krishna and Lord Ramachandra. They knew that although Ramachandra was an ideal king and could not accept more than one wife, Lord Krishna, being the full-fledged personality of Godhead, would fulfill the desire of all of them in Vrindavana. These sages also concluded that the form of Lord Krishna is more attractive than that of Lord Ramachandra. So they prayed to become gopis in their future lives to be associated with Krishna. Haribol.
Hi Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So why is it said that Krishna is more attractive than Lord Ram? Right? We all know. They say that only Krishna has the 64 qualities. Even Lord Ram and all of the Vishnu Tattvas, they all have only 60 qualities. Anyone can tell what are the 4 qualities of Lord Sri Krishna, which is not even present in Lord Ram?
Venu Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, and one more, Prema Madhurya.
Huh?
Prema Madhurya.
Okay, once more, what are the 4?
Venu Madhurya, Leela Madhurya.
That is a flute of the Lord. Yeah.
Leela Madhurya.
Yes,
Pastimes.
beautiful. Leela, the pastimes. Yeah, the Lord Krishna's pastimes with the Vrajavasis. Yeah.
Then Prema Madhurya.
Prema Madhurya. Yeah. Prema Madhurya is again loving reciprocation of the Lord with the with his Parivar Madhurya. And you missed the most important thing. What is that? Why is Krishna called Krishna?
Beauty, all beauty, Mataji.
Rupa Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya.
Rupa Madhurya, isn't it? Krishna is all attractive, right? He is very beautiful. He is very, very attractive. Look at, he is very handsome. He is Rupa Madhurya. He is the embodiment of sweetness. And he's got Venam Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Right? We every day in the morning we greet the deities with the Darshan Arati, where we are talking about the beautiful form of the Lord. So because of these 4 qualities that is present with Krishna alone, Krishna is the most attractive. The other classes we're also discussing about, somebody can be famous, somebody can be very rich, somebody can be very learned, etc. And people, and they attract so many followers. Right? We're talking about how Amitabh Bachchan is sitting in that Pratiksha or whatever his building is, standing there waving, right? And there are crores of people outside just to see his wave, just because a little famous. Right? And such kind of opulences that may be there even with the living entities. Right? Some of them may be very learned, some of them may be very rich, some of them very famous, right? But out of all of them, right, Krishna is the best. Why? All of them may possess, even if they possess only a limited portion of all the opulences. And secondly, it is only temporary. Right? Prabhupada gives example of how the actresses, Prabhupada says shelf life. Very beautiful, isn't it? Like the products, you have the flour and all in the market, they have a shelf life. Manufactured date 10th November 2023, expiry 10th November 2024. Like that, even the opulences that are possessed by individuals of this world, they also have a shelf life. They themselves have a shelf life. Right? The day we are born, our death day is also, our expiry date is also written. Only that we cannot see it in our body like we see it in the cover of an atta or rice, like that. So all of this opulences, whatever we possess, we should understand has been given to us by the Lord, by the Lord's mercy, and can be taken away by the Lord at any time. So there is no way that anybody can claim or become proud of possessing these things. Right? All right. So let's go forward and read this. Who will read next? Lord Ramachandra remained silent. Who's Arun Gupta Prabhu? Go ahead. And then Sindhu Mataji can read. Yeah.
Krishna Mataji. Lord Ramachandra remained silent, and his silence shows that he accepted the prayers of the sages. Thus, they were blessed by Lord Ramachandra to have association with Lord Krishna in their future lives. As a result of this benediction, they all took birth as women in the wombs of gopis at Gokul, and as they had desired in their previous lives, they enjoyed the company of Lord Krishna, who was present at that time in Gokul Vrindavan. The perfection of their human form of life was thus achieved by their generating a transcendental sentiment to share conjugal love with Lord Krishna.
Yeah. So as jivas, what is the only thing that we can do? We can only desire, right? And by the mercy of the Lord, like in this case, the sages of the Dandakaranya forest, they desired during Treta Yuga, Lord Ram's time. They waited till Dwapar Yuga, and Krishna incarnated as Krishna, right? They say Bhagavan ke dar mein देर हो सकती है अंधेरी नहीं, right? कृष्ण सूर्य समा माया हया अंधकार, जहां कृष्णा तहां नहीं है माया अधिकार, right? So whenever the Lord wants to bestow his mercy, like he bestowed his mercy on his own mother Yashoda Maiya, I always give this example, right? If this is the situation of the mother to run behind Krishna so long, to get the mercy of the Lord, then it depends on, it gives us an indication of how much determination, how much enthusiasm, how much of patience we have to have in our devotional service to attain the desired success of Krishna Prema. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, go ahead. Conjugal love is divided. Somebody else was there. Okay, anyways. Okay.
Conjugal love is divided into two classifications, namely conjugal love as husband and wife and conjugal love as lover and beloved. One who develops conjugal love for Krishna as a wife is promoted to Dwaraka, where the devotee becomes the queen of the Lord. One who develops conjugal love for Krishna as a lover is promoted to Golok Vrindavana to associate with the gopis and enjoy loving affairs with Krishna there. We should note carefully, however, that this conjugal love for Krishna, either as a gopi or as a queen, is not limited only to women. Even men can develop such sentiments, as was evidenced by the sages of Dandakaranya. If someone simply desires conjugal love but does not follow in the footsteps of the gopis, he is promoted to association with the Lord at Dwaraka.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, we discussed this, right? Sindhu Mataji, thank you. Karpagoli Mataji, go ahead. In the Mahakurma Purana.
Mataji, thank you, Mataji. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
In the Mahakurma Purana, it is stated, great sages who were the sons of fire gods rigidly followed the regulative principles in their desire to have conjugal love for Krishna. As such, in their next lives, they were able to associate with the Lord, the origin of all creation, who is known as Vasudeva or Krishna, and all of them got him as their husband. Parenthood of friendship. Shall I continue, Mataji? Parenthood of friendship.
Devotees were... Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You can read first two paragraphs. Virendra Prabhu can read.
Parenthood of friendship. Devotees were attracted to Krishna as
last two paragraphs. Yeah.
Devotees who are attracted to Krishna as parents or as friends should follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaja or Subala respectively. Nanda Maharaja is the foster father of Krishna, and of all the friends of Krishna, Subala is the most intimate in Brajabhumi. In the development of becoming either the father or a friend of Krishna, there are two varieties. One method is that one may try to become the father of the Lord directly, and the other is that one may follow Nanda Maharaja and cherish the ideal of being Krishna's father. Out of these two, the attempt to directly become the father of Krishna is not recommended. Such a development can become polluted with the Maya Deva impersonal philosophy. The Mayavadis or monsters think that they themselves are Krishna, and if one thinks that he himself has become Nanda Maharaja, then his parental love will become contaminated with the Mayadeva philosophy. Mayavada philosophy. Mayavada philosophical thinking of Krishna is offensive, and no offender can enter into the kingdom of God to associate with Krishna. In the Skanda Purana. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
In the Skanda Puran, there is a story of an old man residing in Hastinapur.
Just 1 second. Okay, so here, why is Prabhupada talking about this Mayavada philosophy here, right? We are talking about something very, 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 very high, right? Esoteric rasa, we're talking about conjugal love. What is the, difference? What are the bifurcations within conjugal love? Suddenly, Prabhupada has come very down. Why is he talking about impersonal Brahman, right? That is even the, the lowermost realization of the Lord, right? Why? Because this is like Prabhupada gives an example of a green bird in a green tree. right? Even when we are enjoying pastimes with the Lord, the green bird never merges with the green tree. The green bird remains there, right? It is serving the tree, or it is having amorous rasas with the tree. But at no point in time, all of the green birds merge with the tree. And then Prabhupada also gives example in the same context in chapter 2. Prabhupada talks about the soul and the super soul. One bird is this jiva, the other bird is the super soul. The super soul is always waiting for the jiva to turn around to get guidance. There only Prabhupada is again talking about Mayavadism or impersonalism. We are not talking about merging or becoming Nanda Maharaj, right? We can never become Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, Subala, the gopis of Vrindavan. No. Our position will be to assist the Ragatmika Bhaktas, right? Even when we perfect our lives, we will only become Raga Anuga Bhaktas. That means we'll always follow in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas, like Yashoda Maya, Srimati Radharani, the gopis of Vrindavan, Subala, Sridama, all of them, and serve them, right? And serve them in the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is the highest position? We already saw. The person who serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead has the highest position. The more we are down in the ladder, right? In material world, if you are down the ladder means less important, not so important, right? But in the spiritual world, the more we are down in the parampara, we get the mercy of all of those Vaishnava acharyas who are above us. That is why Maharaj Kulashekar prays, Gopi Bartu Padakamalayur, Dasa, 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 Anu Dasa. Right? The more we are servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant, the more we will become exalted in our rasa. The more we will become exalted in understanding the tattva, in experiencing the rasa, like that. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead. You complete the entire chapter.
Okay. In this Skanda Purana, there is.
Oh, sorry, sir. Hold on. One second. Yeah, in the Skanda Puran.
In the Skanda Puran, there is a story of an old man residing in Hastinapur, capital of the kingdom of the Pandus, who desired Krishna as his beloved son. This old man was instructed by Narada to follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj, and thus he achieved success. There is a statement in the Narayana Vyuvastava prayers that persons who are always engaged in thinking of the Lord as a husband, friend, father, or well-wisher are always worshipable by everyone. This spontaneous love for Krishna can be developed only by the special mercy of Krishna or his pure devotees. This process of devotion service is sometimes called Pushti Marga. Pushti means nourishing and Marga means path. Such development of a sentiment nourishes devotional service to the highest standard. Thus it is called the path of nourishment or Pushti Marga. The Vallabh Sampradaya, which belongs to the Vishnu Swami sect of Vaishnava religion, worships this Pushti Marg. Generally, devotees in Gujarat worship Bal Krishna under this heading of Pushti Marg. Hare Krishna.
Hare. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Right? So, Pushti Marg. Pushti Marg means nourishment. Right? Savibhumsam parodharma yada bhakti radokshaje ahitukiya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. What gives pleasure to the soul is not trying to grab or trying to enjoy sense gratification or trying to control the three modes of material nature. Unfortunately, the more we try to control, the more we get frustrated. But the more we try to serve, the more we will feel bliss. Right? As well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj was mentioning in one of his classes, Maharaj was saying, the more we want respect from others, the more we will be frustrated, because we will not have control about whether the other person will respect us or not. But the more we want to give respect to others, to that extent we will always have bliss. Because who can stop us, right? We can offer obeisances as many times to every devotee. Now, in this way, we can serve and serve every devotee. There is no stoppage. There is nobody who can control you and say that, oh, you should not render service. So the more we want to respect others and the more we want to serve others, there is no limit to our bliss. The more we want to control others, the more we want to take help from others, the more we want others to follow what we are saying, to that extent we will always be frustrated. So with this, we come to an end of chapter 16 in the matters of spontaneous devotional service. Now, I'll just show the slide. This is like a summary study of chapter number 16. And then we will finish by 12:10, and then we can take questions. Questions in the sense, if anyone wants to share any realizations or if it is pertaining to some tattva, which I know of or I've heard from any senior devotee, and I will say. Otherwise, these are all topics beyond our understanding, at least my understanding. So I would not, I would refrain from asking if there are any questions, because I'm not qualified to answer anything on this subject. Okay, so let's quickly go on to our summarization. Okay, I hope all of you are able to see the screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, all right. So we started this chapter, the paragraphs 1 and 2 spoke about Ragatmika Bhakti in a relationship, right? How we can have a relationship with the Lord, either as parents or as the Vrajavasis. That means not either in the family, right, where the father of the Lord, the mother of the Lord, the relative of the Lord, and then there is pure conjugal relationship. That means not related to the Lord, but connected with love, the gopis. Then 3 to 9 basically dealt with what is the eligibility and what is the practice of Raga Anuga Bhakti. Raga Anuga means spontaneous love for the Lord and the desire to serve the Lord. Anuga means following in the footsteps of those devotees who have this spontaneous attraction already, right? By following in their footsteps when we practice bhakti, that is what is called as Raga Anuga Bhakti. And then paragraphs 10 to 16 dealt with Raga Anuga Bhakti following Ragatmika Bhakta. In either of the rasas, either it could be parent or it could be friend or it could be a servant. It could be following any of the rasas, what is there in the followed by the particular devotee, right? If we follow in the footsteps of Vrajagopis or the queens of the Dwaraka, then we are in Madhurya Ras. If you are attracted to Krishna being a parent we attracted to the rasa of being Krishna's parent or Krishna's senior, like that, then we can follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj, etc. As a friend means we can follow Shubala, Madhu Mangal, them. And important thing, such spontaneous love for Krishna can be developed only by devotional service, and that too by the special mercy of Lord Shri Krishna or his pure devotee. Generally, the devotees of the Lord, they are said to be more merciful than the Lord also, right? We also saw the pastime of how Kaliya Krishna Das, he became attracted and he was caught by the Bhattaharis. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he brought him back because he took him as a personal servant. He brought him back, gave him to Nityananda Prabhu and said, I don't want to see his face again. And then what did Nityananda Prabhu do? Nityananda Prabhu actually engaged him to go and tell in Navadvip that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is returned. So when he went and told in Navadvip, all of the devotees of the Lord were so pleased with Kaliya Krishna Das that they blessed him. And he also took Mahaprashadam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, he got the blessings of all the devotees. So we see here, by the mercy of the Lord and by the mercy of his pure devotees, we can be forgiven for all of our anarthas, for our inappropriate actions, and we can be blessed by the Lord. However, we should not be doing inappropriate actions on the strength of chanting the holy name. Then it becomes an offense against the holy name of the Lord. Right? And then finally, Prabhupada explains in the last paragraph about Pushti Marg. Pushti, like when I remember the boxers, they look so well nourished and well built. That is how strong we want to be in our bhakti. No matter what happens, no matter whatever condition we are put in our life, we want to nourish our heart in such a way that Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. We always have confidence in Krishna, that Krishna will always protect. There is no situation where Krishna will not protect us. Right? Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Namesteyo. What is that? Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Right? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, I'm equal to everyone. I don't envy anybody. Right? But I am especially inclined. Bhakteya. What is that? Bhaktanam abhijanati, right? Only a devotee can actually understand me as I am. So, as we are practicing devotional service more and more, we should develop this unalloyed dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That what is not, his great Gaur Gopal Prabhu tells very nicely, what is not within my control is within the control of my best friend, who is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, why worry? Okay, and some of the important concepts that we discussed in this chapter are about when does the eagerness to follow the Ragatmika Bhaktas arise in one's heart, right? How does this eagerness arise? When there is genuineness, when there is sincerity, when there is enthusiasm, when there is determination to follow the principles as given to us by our spiritual master, by Srila Prabhupada, then automatically this eagerness to follow the Ragatmika Bhaktas will arise in our heart. And when one is actually liberated from material contamination, when one is not disturbed by the waves of the ocean, there is this very beautiful example that's given. Okay, I will tell that later. What other concepts? Siddha Pranali and Prakrita Sahajya. We need to specifically avoid this because we are not going to act as if we become the gopis of Vrindavan, or whether we met Krishna yesterday, right? So we are not going to imitate. We are going to do Anu Sharan and not Anu Karan. We're not going to do Kara. We're not going to do what they did, but we're going to follow their instructions and do what they are telling us. And then we also discussed conjugal love, the two categories within that, which is Parakiya Rasa and Swakiya Rasa, being that of the gopis and Krishna relationship. And this is the queens of Dwaraka and Krishna relationship. And then finally, how is the loving affairs of conjugal love possible? Because only when there is this laulium, when there is the desire in the heart to serve the Lord. And it all begins by chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and developing an affinity, a taste to worship the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord. Right? In this way, we are more firmly establishing ourselves about the personal form of the Lord and how we are serving the personal form of the Lord. Because that's what we're going to be doing, even in the spiritual world. When we go back, also we're going to serve Krishna, we're going to chant Krishna's names, we're going to engage in a Navavidha Bhakti there also, right? So this is our training ground. This is a place for us to reform ourselves, to get the right consciousness, so that we may go back to the spiritual world and serve Shri Radha and Krishna in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant. So with this, we will end our session today. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So I'd like to beg forgiveness in case of any misunderstanding. If you all have got inspired by any little bit of the class today, all glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga. And in case of any mistakes, it is all my anarthas. So I humbly seek forgiveness for anything inappropriate that was communicated in this class. Thank you very much for your kind hearing. Maybe we can take one or two realizations. We have about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
12-15
yes,
minutes.
I have a realization only, Mataji. Madhva philosophy means Madhvacharya says Dvaita philosophy, that is the soul and the super soul are always distinct, which means Krishna, which means the soul surrenders to the super soul, that is Bhagwan in Bhakti. And this is not possible in Advaita because they merge. So all these relationships, in this all this Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, that is not possible in Advaita at all. All these relationships, they are not there in Advaita. And it is said that the Radha and it is said that we are all part and parcels of Radharani. Means in the spiritual world, all are we can see the female expansions of Krishna, and he is the only Purusha. So I am right.
Correct. So Prakriti, that's why Ekala Ishvara Krishna Para Sabha Britya. Krishna is only one supreme enjoyer. Everybody else is Britya. Everybody else is servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect. Hare Krishna. Yes. Arun Gupta Prabhu.
Madhvacharya philosophy that Dvait and Advait.
See, so the various acharyas, they explain according to the time, place, and circumstances. The highest philosophy is can we enjoy all by ourselves, right? If you have nobody around us, right? Just imagine, even at a material level, we cannot enjoy. Right? I'm sitting home. I have all the wealth, the enough food, so many pizzas and paneer butter masala and sabji, everything is there. How much can I eat? I keep eating, and then I'm sitting down alone. Nobody is there with me. Right? I may enjoy 1 day, 2 days. I may eat, I may sleep, I may walk around. After that, I want to have the rasa because physically I'm having all the enjoyment, but there is no rasa, there is no relationship, there is no love, there is no service to anybody. What am I going to do with all of this? I will get bored. Now, I would rather say, okay, let me go and live in the street, but at least I want people around me. Isn't it? So how can we ever enjoy or get the realization of being merging into the Brahman? Right? We can be happy for some time, right? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Very good. No lamentation, no hankering. Very good situation to be in for some time. Otherwise, we are Anandamaya Abhyasa. We want happiness. And happiness is only in people. Happiness is only in relationships with people. Right? That's why Prabhupada tells in one lecture that those who don't have children, what do? They take dogs and cats for a walk because they want to have this relationship. right? Because they are not, some of them are not married, in the Western world, especially Prabhupada was saying, right? Either we serve God or we serve dog. But serve we have to. That is our constitutional position. But if we don't serve God, we will end up serving dogs of this material world and we'll be frustrated. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Okay. So Dvaita philosophy is the best. That is means that is the soul and the super soul are distinct, and we like surrender to God in devotion. Means we are like Madhva Vaishnavas, means Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnavas, our sampradaya. So our philosophy is the, like, we can say, best, we can say.
Yeah, Sri Vaishnava also talks about, the Jiva being different from, all the four Vaishnava philosophies, all the four bona fide sampradayas. This is the essence. That Jiva is always distinct, has a separate identity. And the service is the constitutional position of the Jiva. The Jiva is always meant to serve the Lord. Now, Advaita philosophy was propounded by Shankaracharya. That is Mayavadism. That is where one is Mayavadism, where you say that when Krishna appeared, he also was under Maya. That was Mayavadi. And also impersonal Brahman. That is a lower third level of realization is I will become God. Prabhupada calls it the last snare of Maya. That is the last snare of Maya. Why? Because when we get into that, then we merge and then we don't have any bliss. Again, we fall down to the material world. And then again, we have to build our connection with Krishna. Otherwise, we will not be happy. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Arun Gupta, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, I just want to understand, how do we draw the line between imitating the gopis versus the desire to become the gopi, just like the sages of the Dandikaranya?
Yeah. So Prabhupada said, we have to desire to follow the instructions of our spiritual master and Prabhupada. Once we do that only, by their mercy, automatically it will be revealed to us. We don't have to imitate also. We don't have to do anything which is beyond our adhikar. What is our adhikar? Our adhikar is to serve. And how do we serve? By doing Shravanam Kirtanam, by chanting our 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by doing Mangala Arati in the morning until Shayana Arati in the night, by serving the Lord in the mood of a servant. So that is our adhikar as of now. So we do that service, but we do it in the mode of servant of the servant of the servant. And then automatically whatever has to come will be revealed by the Lord through the Guru Parampara in our heart. So we don't have to imitate anything, anybody.
Okay, Mataji.
Does it answer, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Mataji, just a short question. It may sound very silly. What's the difference between the Manjaris and Gopis?
Okay, so like we spoke about Keli, right? So within the Gopis itself, there are two categories. Where one set of Gopis actually enjoy with Krishna, and the other set of Gopis make the arrangements, paraphernalia, and arranging decorating the place, etc. The set of Gopis and Manjaris are small, are even much younger than the Gopis also. Right, and they assist in basically doing this paraphernalia. They are young girls, so they just decorate Srimati Radharani and decorate the kunja, decorate the swing for the Julan maybe. So like that, the Manjaris assist the Gopis. There are some Gopis who also assist, and there are some Gopis also who are part of this Leelas, like that.
Okay,
Mataji,
okay, thank you.
What I heard is that Manjaris are so confidential that they also are allowed to see the pastimes between Radha and Krishna, but Gopis are not able.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I've also heard in some of the classes. Yeah.
Okay, regarding the Pushti Marga, that is in the Rudra Sampradaya, because the Pushti Marga is Vishnu Swami, and from Vishnu Swami is Rudra Sampradaya. And it is said that Pushti Marga is very in connection with the Gaudiya Vaishnavas also, because they worship Srinathji, which was worshipped in Govardhan. Srinathji means, so they have relationship with Gaudiya Vaishnavas also, right? The Pushti Marga is.
So actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took one principle from all the four bona fide paramparas, right? Seva, Vaishnava Seva, and then deity worship, like this. Each one of the principles were taken from each of the four bona fide paramparas. Right? Pushti Marg is definitely one of the bona fide paramparas. Yes, they worship Srinathji, Bhagavan. Even in Bombay, we have Radha Gopinath temple here, where there is installation of Srinathji, the Lord who is carrying the Govardhan hill, like that. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Shri
Thank you,
Gurudev ki.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
So
Mataji.
tomorrow
Dandavat Pranam.
5 a.m. We'll continue with chapter number 17. So we are on the almost today is Friday. So Monday we will meet. So we have 5 more sessions of this nectar devotion. I would urge all the devotees to join in for these 5 sessions. It's like a grand culmination of our nectar devotion study. Please do join in for our last 5 sessions of nectar devotion. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Jagat Guru
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur
Jai.
Premanande.
Hari
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Nice class,
Hare
Mataji. Very
Krishna.
nice class,
Mataji,
Mataji.
very
Thank you
wonderful
so much,
Very
class.
nice class.
Mataji.
Very wonderful.
Wonderful explanation.
All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Very nice class. Very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. With your permission, can I end, Mataji? Thank you all.